Hey, what's up? Welcome to DGen Ed. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts like the chart behind me, which is of the SPX, the S&P 500. And yeah, before I get into the stream, if you like this kind of content, make sure you like it and share your thoughts in the comments down below or in the live chat. And also make sure you subscribe because I am doing these streams weekly, Sunday evenings, 9 p.m. Eastern. And then I will also probably be doing another stream, at least one more, during the week, likely Wednesdays. But this week is a little off for me because I am working the night shift, which sucks. I actually have to go to work after this stream. But yeah, other than that, I'm pretty excited for the week. And yeah, I thought I'd start by, going over the S&P 500. This is not something I typically look at or didn't used to that much, but I just think it's, a really good way to get a perspective on what's going on in the market, stuff like that. And so basically what has happened is we were approaching the all-time highs, and we did pull back a little bit, and it does look like it might be might have found a bottom around here. And yeah, so we'll have to see what happens next week, start of the week, Monday, January 8th. And yeah, I might actually switch over to the SPY. I charted with this a little bit more. There's more stuff going on with this. And yeah, so we'll have to see what happens with this in the morning. And I should note that I most of the stocks I talk about on the channel, I don't have positions in, but I have started to build some positions in these indexes, or at least some of them. One of them being the SH, which is the short S&P 500. And so that has bounced. It's just inverse of the SPY. And also have been building a small position, add a little bit each week with the SQQQ, which is the short, ultra short. So I think it's 3x leveraged inverse the NASDAQ. And also during one of the streams, hey, what's up? FSR is kicking your ass. Yeah, well, I'll go over that chart. I did just put a video on it. And yeah, I'll share my thoughts. One of the things I think is really nice about the streams is I can, I take more time to go over the charts than try to just get a quick video out. Can offer a little more perspective. Usually when I record the videos, I try to keep them under 5 minutes. I've been struggling with that lately. But with that, I can't elaborate on too much. So I think it's definitely good for us to go over that chart here in just a minute. I just wanted to point out one thing real quick, the SOXS. This was pointed out to me by somebody during a stream. This is the 3x inverse, I believe, or 3x short. Where does it say in the, I don't know if you guys can see. Oh yeah, bear 3x ETF of semiconductors. And just like the potential for gains with this versus the SH, this is not leverage, or the SQQQ, which is 3x leverage, just like the SOXS. The SOXS can yield a lot more gains. So I've also been building a small position in this, but since it does look like these things might be turning around, as you can see with the SPY looking like it might be turning around, and then let's see, the QQQ might be turning around. So I've been building these short positions. I'm actually going to be trimming just a little bit. I'm glad you like the coverage. Awesome. Yeah, it's just, I started doing this, really initially just for myself, just trying to be more accountable with my trading and follow up on either good moves, bad moves, whatever. And yeah, it's been growing, and it's fun to look at charts that I don't have positions in because, there's no bias there. Just looking at the charts. So Apple is about to release some catalyst this week, so the markets may follow it up. Yeah, I don't know about the catalyst, but that'll be interesting. After I look at Fisker, I'll look over at Apple. And yes, let's see, Degen Ed. And Fisker. My alphabet skills suck. Right here. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. So this, and actually, I don't know if I mentioned it in the video, but one thing that I believe I did, but one thing I should have, I believe, mentioned in the previous video. I've been making a lot of videos on it, so it's hard to keep track. But, like when this candle, this wick, broke out of that channel, it did pull back in. And then the following day opened outside, then pulled back in. And so that's just like, I believe around that time I had made a video that was like, the bottom's in. But after seeing that signal, it's like, yeah, I mean, it's probably going to come back down. Unfortunately, new lows. And yeah, so for me, like uh, basically the way that I've been trading VR headset stuff, oh, with Apple, that makes sense. Just like with how Meta's been doing that, Meta just released those like Ray-Ban sunglasses or whatever, or glasses, I guess. Yeah, I feel like that's definitely, yeah, and yeah, Meta's been doing a lot of stuff with that. With Oculus, is that what it's called? I'm not really into that stuff, but I have some friends with it, and it seems like it's going to be taken over. So I think that's really good for Apple because, uh, yeah, and good for the market broadly. Um, but yeah, as far as Fisker goes, like when I first started covering this, I didn't have a position in it. Now I have like a very, very, very small one. The way that I usually establish positions is I just very small positions, like nibble a few shares at a time. And so my plan basically with Fisker is, I think that it'll continue in this channel, roughly respect this downtrend. And, just like psychologically, it really makes sense to me that if I was a short seller, I'd want to drive this down to $1, if not lower. This is not, I don't know what the rules are for the New York Stock Exchange, but for NASDAQ, if it has 30 consecutive, I believe it's trading days below $1, then they have 180 calendar days um, to regain compliance by having a close above $1. So not go above $1, but have close above $1. And so I would just think either from that kind of perspective or just $1 being a round number, I would try to push this down to $1. So I personally would not be surprised if it goes to $1. And so I'm like going to be, if I'm adding, it'll be very, very casually. And then if it hits $1, then I'd go heavier. Um, but yeah, 45% shorts and big options expire on the 19th. Yeah, I think the 19th is going to be a really big day because it's monthly, contracts expiring then, also the first of the year. And after um, just, yeah, starting the new year with selling that seems like it's taken place at the start of the year. I think, yeah, 2 Fridays from now, it's going to be a pretty interesting time. Yeah, for Fisker. Yep. Yeah, I don't like. I so I do the charting and stuff here with Webull. I might switch over to TradingView for all charting at some point, but I'm just holding out because I think it's like $20 a month for that, and like the channel's not monetized now. And once that happens, I'll probably use that to either get a TradingView subscription or stuff like that. Oh yeah, raising the price last minute because a lot of shorts are in the money right now. Yeah, but yeah, like one thing that I think is really interesting about market makers and shorts and stuff and hedge funds is that they all, like Citadel, seem to be the same. So market makers have an interest in keeping prices down, uh, and so it's good when they're in the money. Um, so yeah, it's going to be an interesting, yeah, like I think it's the third Friday of every month is monthly contracts for all stocks that have contracts. So it'll be pretty interesting. And with this, I imagine here I've got oh, Taylor Swift. I'm just going to look over at Fisker Max Payne, oops, FSR, for the 19th. I imagine it's $1, but it might be $1.50. Oh, $5. So that's pretty crazy. Yeah, they're massively in the money right now. And so what I would imagine is that, yeah, so, oh, that's volume. Max Payne 150 for this coming Friday. Yeah, what I could see happening is actually, rather than like increasing the price to meet this Max Payne, just load up on position, like short, I guess, positions for it to be get Max Payne down to around 150. Because I like usually whenever I look at a Max Payne for like 2 weeks in advance, it changes by the time I look at it. It's just an keep making videos and make a few short videos to break that algo. It takes a while, then the viewers will come. Are you talking about like I should do more shorts or just make shorter, like less than 5 minute long videos? Thanks for saying the content's great. Yeah, this is just it's been a really wild 3 months doing this because I've been making content for YouTube for years and different channels. This is my third channel. Other ones, I've either given up on or, they just never really took off much. Do both. Yeah. That's actually like, I feel like I'm nearly at a good rhythm of being able to get out videos every single day more or less consistently. And I don't want to, like, I've tried doing other things like, oh, I'll try doing shorts. And then that takes time away from making the other videos. But yeah, and also to get monetized from shorts is like, I can look up what the threshold is really quick. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, it's like to be like fully monetized, you need 4,000 watch hours, which I'm approaching 1,000, which is like crazy. I've never had that. But for public shorts within 90 days, you need 10 million views. I should make both. 5 minutes is good, but 10 is better. But then also make shorts. So you don't find like a lot of the videos that I've released recently have been like 7 to 8 minutes. You guys don't find that too long? Because I feel like that people lose interest too soon. But if it's better, like if I go over multiple stocks in one video, it definitely takes me more than 5 minutes. So if that's actually preferred, I can cover more stocks and then try to do shorter videos just on just on the shorts. So on individual stocks. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I like for a previous channel, I had made some shorts that it took too much time away from making videos. But for that channel, I put way more time into producing stuff. Whereas this is just, I spend 10 minutes going over a chart and then I just record my thoughts on it. Could listen to stocks all day long. Yeah, and also I think that's funny too because the other channels that I made, I was kind of one was based on my career, and I thought that it would be a good pivot, a good transition. But I don't have passion for watching that kind of stuff. The other channel, similar. This one is like I'm making content that I enjoy watching. So and then I also saw this quote that I think Elon retweeted. Or it was just a clip of Rick Rubin. I don't know if you guys know who that is. He did, like he produced like Nirvana and I think Jay-Z, Red Hot Chili Peppers, just produced a lot of, very influential music. And he was saying, the best thing that you can do for your audience is produce content that you want to see or produce art that you want to experience. And so yeah, that's basically what I'm doing. So hopefully it seems like it's catching on with people and it's fun for me and it's not too challenging. So I can actually do it. But yeah, I will look at the Apple chart because you were mentioning that. And I will this week. Yeah, this week sucks for me because of the snowstorm, and B, my shifts this week are working 10 p.m. So I'm in the Midwest. So in a couple hours, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. And then yeah, so it's gonna be tough making videos. But the following week, I'm taking a few days off, and I'll try to get on making some shorts, and then just kind of figure out a systematic way of doing that. Oh, yeah, and if I want to break the algo, I can also see what the big stocks are on Wall Street Bets and make those videos. That's where the weekly volume is. That's a good idea. One thing that I did, and actually the reason why I got into Fisker or why I made the first video on Fisker, I was at work during a break, and I was just like, what stocks are either rocketing up today or dropping? And I saw Fisker uh, was, I think, it was probably, it had to have been at least 10%. It stood out to me when I saw it, and it's like, oh, well, that's something people are going to be searching. I should make a video on that. And also, it's a company that I'm interested in. I remember around the time they were listed, I think it was around the same time Ride Lordstown Motors was, which has since been delisted, and just all of the like SPAC craze back then. ChargePoint. I forget what ChargePoint was listed as back then, but yeah, just Lucid Motors as well, all sorts of EV craze then. But checking out Wall Street Bets is a good idea, and just start making videos on that, because there are I have like 10 stocks that I tend to routinely cover, but then I can make more than 10 videos in a week, so it's like I need new ideas. So I get great suggestions from you guys. Also, seeing what moves a lot on the day, and then checking out Wall Street Bets is a really good idea. Yeah. So yeah, it's I mean it's this is definitely work, but it's so much fun. So it's like before I try to be doing stuff, preparing for YouTube, making videos for my other channels, and it was work. Whereas I'd just be like checking stocks during the day all the time. So this is super fun. And I have a setup to do this too. So, but yeah, I'm gonna switch over to Apple, and we can go over some charts. I don't want to. It's really nice chatting with you, Oscar. But yeah, there are a couple other people, or there was a couple other people. Now there's one other person, I believe. So yeah, if any ticker requests, um, and yeah, so Apple, yeah, coming down to this like yellow line support there, and also we could see. I don't. I'm not. I don't. Usually, like if I do a Fibonacci retracement, it's because I've seen somebody else do it. Um, but yeah, this has come down below the 50%. But so I guess it'd be nice to see it go above like to 183. And if there is news on a release of a VR headset or something like that, I mean, big sell off here, and then like you look at the SPY and stuff, the Nasdaq, everything's come down a lot. So this could be a nice bottom for that if there's good news from Apple. Um, but yeah, I wonder though if it might, like maybe before that news is released, if it come down to 180, because it does look like there's this good amount of trading that occurred there. Yeah, right around 180, and that's really only going down $1 more from where it's at, $1.50 to get to this level. But then, yeah, this shelf looks really attractive, I think. Actually, I'm going to see if I'll put that retracement up once more to see if, yeah, I feel like this level coming down to like 78, $79. Um, there's all of this trading that's occurred. So that seems like it'd be a really key level. Maybe there'd be a wick that comes down to that level. Coupang and Baba. Yeah, I was actually thinking about making a Baba video because the last one, the first one that I did, was pretty popular. But I just didn't see too much going on in the chart. But yeah, I'll look up Coupang. I think actually I should have this in my list here. Let's see. Yep. Cool. Yeah, so it does look like this, wick got rejected from that level, but it did get a higher close than the prior day's high. And so I think that, the next step would be to get a close above this high and ideally, move up to fill this gap. What would be really nice if it moved up to this trend line, and I was just seeing if that's based on a retracement, but if it moved up to this line, so that'd be around 1625 or so, get rejected from there and then come back to 1589 and that act as support then. Or, more realistically, just looking at the volume here, it looks like it's in this area where there's been a lot of trading, all of this consolidation. But just based on these lines, if it could break up to there and then find some support around here before continuing higher, that would be nice. And let's see, just trying to look at compare the RSI. No divergence or anything that stands out to me. Moving averages. Looks like the 50 might be crossing the 21 soon. And wow, this actually, because both of these, but the 200's over both of these, so that's actually not too great of a sign, but the move could be played out. But if the 50 crosses over the 21 day, that could not be good. And I'm actually going to pull up, so all of these bearish indicators. This is a moving average convergence so that's in the MACD, so we can look at, so this is, so I would think that this is probably either going to consolidate or, I don't know if, just making sure Ed's not in the way, that I would think that this would either consolidate or go down a little bit more before getting up, because the MACD would need to switch to the green. And it seems like it's kind of in the middle of a red wave. So maybe by the end of the week, it might look like it's getting ready to start moving up. But this could also, it could be like a double wave down like this sort of. There's all these technical signals. I usually look at these to just kind of like do a comparison, but usually I think most of them are like lagging indicators. So it'll say like, oh, this is a bearish sign, but then like the exact opposite happens. So this is inverted hammer. So an inverted hammer is not a bullish sign. I don't know why that's green. But yeah, it looks like it got rejected from the 21 day here. So it doesn't look too great. So it might be, and actually here, I'm going to remove those and draw up the channel. I wonder which candle I want to start with. But yeah, that looks like, that is downtrending. I just wonder where the bottom is, because it's like, oh, this is downtrending. It's probably going to break to the upside, but then it's like, okay, but then you buy here and then it just continues trending down. So it's like important to have a signal where the bottom is. And I guess what's nice is that we have like this close is at, let's see, what is that price? 1547. So I'm just going to adjust that a little bit. And so, yeah, I think just like we don't want to see closes below 1547. So if it can hold that level and like volume starts to pick up, and also looking over at that MACD, I could actually, I'll probably just leave that up during the stream. I try not to have like too much stuff there cluttering the chart, but I do think that this is a nice indicator for when you might be seeing a reversal. And I might actually just shrink these a little bit. Volumes probably doesn't need to be that big. Actually, I might move this up. Hopefully that's a useful format. And then I'll look at BABA in just a second. Yeah, and I'm just gonna look over at BABA, and then I'll come back to Apple and look at. Well, actually, I can. Let's see, and I'll look at if there's any like news that's listed here or stuff that's coming up. That mentioned the 12th. And BABA, yeah. So yeah, I was considering doing a video on this, but I don't have too much to add from like that last one because I had drawn these lines during it. And so this is at 7302, closed just below that. This line is, what's it based on? Yeah, it's based on the high here. So really, I mean, this could be adjusted to like the open. So what, like when it was traded during that day. And so that'd be like 7219 is the open. So yeah, I mean, it's still right around that level. So it's quite possible that it will be moving up, although it did have a close pretty low in the candle. So I could see this continuing down a little bit. Maybe it'd come down to like 72 or 71, 75, or maybe 71. Let's see where that's at. But yeah, just with this shelf right there. Actually, it doesn't really look too significant if we zoom out. But yeah, it's just because there's more price action up here. So there's nothing below this line really. Well, actually, yeah, I mean, there is. That's what the line's based on. But yeah, relative to it, here, I can, just gonna do this so we can omit any of the, nah, I guess that doesn't, I was thinking that it'd distribute it better, but it's just gonna be the same. But yeah, I mean, it's possible that it could be coming down to 71. I mean, like really, let's see. It's like there's all of this trading like going on in there. So I could see that level around 7150, it coming down to there before starting to turn around. And actually, I don't do this enough. Look over at the weekly chart since this is, yeah, I would think that this is probably going to keep going down, just like you had this big green candle and they progressively got smaller for each week. And so I would think that next week's will probably be red, but it might, just come down to this far before we'd expect a turnaround. And then for Apple, yeah, like right here. Yeah, so I feel like Apple, you said it's on the 12th and that's Friday. So yeah, I mean, Apple could continue to sell off during the week and then maybe turn around, on the, and so it could just be down for 3 to 5 days or maybe flattening out around this level, maybe consolidating. So yeah, that seems most compelling to me just because this yellow line is really, it's based on, oh, this is the weekly chart, dang it. Yeah, it's just based on a couple touch points here. And really like just below that line too, there was this gap. So it's not really that much, there's not much trading. There's a little bit of a gap there. So yeah, and then you have all of this price action here. That's just like, that seems to me like that would be a really good level. 180. Either to add or to establish a small position or start adding to one. Yeah, let's see. I wonder if... But yeah, and then also too, I do think that, like this yellow line, there's not that much below it. You can see that clearly in like the volume profile. But once you get down to that orange level, or just 180, so like right between these lines, it's like have a starter position at 180 with the expectation that it might drop down to this orange line at like 177.60. And if that doesn't hold, it might go down to 173.64. But then below that, and that's based on all of this becoming, support and then down to here. But if it breaks below, I would think keeping like round number 170 or maybe 169, that could be like, okay, it's getting ready to fall off a cliff. Because once you go down to like 165 below this, there's not going to be as much support there, and it could just like free fall down to 150. That would not be good. Oh yeah, you're taking off. Thanks for joining from the UK. Very cool of you to be here. It's so neat that people are joining from around the world. So happy trading tomorrow. Sleep well. Yeah, and so happy to take any other requests. Nameless if you've got any. You always offer some good ideas, some good suggestions. Oh, and I might actually remove the earnings and stuff. Don't need to see that popping up, at least not this time of year. Yeah. One thing that I'm like a video that I just put out on ChargePoint and Luminar. And that's let's see, this daily list. I put together this video of 13 stocks, but I guess now I've reduced it down to 10. I guess I removed those from it. But just like looking at the patterns of these stocks, like the bigger picture patterns. So like Chewy, it seemed like, it might be starting to find a bottom. But all of these stocks seem to be a little bit weaker, and there are just so many of them, and they all kind of look similar. Like I had drawn these red lines, but they, for the most part, tended to close just below those lines. But it's like there's nothing to really, I guess Palantir looks notably different, but it closed below that line. And so it's like, do I just do another video that just has one more candle on it, but then going over a ton of stocks? Or do I wait to start seeing some notable differences, or for there to be similarities between just a couple of these stocks? So I'll probably do a follow-up on a couple of these and compare them. I've been enjoying doing the kind of like comparison videos because I get more stocks out, and then I spend less time putting thumbnail together, spend less time going over all that stuff. So, and then I'm like really intrigued by this company, but it's stuff because it had this breakout. I think what's going to happen is, maybe it retests 335 again, but I feel like this will continue because I have it like kind of grayed, but there's just this massive falling wedge that it just broke out of. And I think like, let's see, what's a stock that just recently did that? SoFi and Rivian. Yeah, I mean, it's like pretty impressive. There's this small like falling wedge within this channel, and then it not only breaks out of that wedge, it also breaks out of the channel and just goes on a massive rampage. So that's like from breaking out of the channel, goes up like almost 50%. And so this is a small wedge. And then let's see, Rivian, this looks like it's a bigger wedge, steeper, but what's the kind of like gains that, about 45%. But this is also the same time. So that could just be like more broad market. But from this breaking out, it's gone up 30% from a breakout. So 45 would be like to $4.75 or so. At FSLY. Fastly. Is that like the TikTok company? That ticker sounds familiar. Yeah, Fastly. Um, hmm. Yeah, I wonder if this is like head, shoulder, head. This is the other shoulder being formed. So let's see if I can draw a parallel. I mean, it's kind of an ugly. I don't know if this would be legit. Um, but yeah, I mean that could be like Head and Shoulders. I'm not the best with Head and Shoulders. I tend to like imagine them before they happen. And this is kind of an ugly head with these bumps in it, but none of these come back to the neckline, so I think that's still valid. Um, let's see. Yeah, and there it is, right? I guess, yeah, like right around 1575 is where there's less volume there traded. So I would think 1575 would like serve as um, support right around there. Um, yeah, so this one looks risky to me, and also this is this a U.S. company or is it a Chinese company? Um, or was Fastly related to TikTok before but is not anymore? Or is it like a competitor? Um, it's a cloud platform which provides developers and security operations team with solutions. Um, deliver digital experiences in the edge of the internet. Uh, Serverless edge cloud platform. Fastly's edge cloud platform designed from the ground up. Let's see what analysts are saying about this. I'm going to move this. Oh, actually move it in. So, with me here, it's, let's see, hold rating, 12 analysts, current price 16 with targets ranging. So it's kind of like right in the middle there. Um, let's see, what are people saying about it? Keeping an eye on this one. Oh, yeah, and also looks like, so this was at the end of the year was the high. It started to fade off a little bit. What's Apple look like? That started to sell off earlier, but yeah, so I wonder if that's just like the more broad general sell off. Yeah, so I mean, with that being said, this makes me think of SPY and all of the like indexes that are that they look like they're going to turn around. So I could see this finding a bottom maybe around 1575 or so. Um, and yeah, I mean that's like the low over here on November 13th was let's see, 1587. See, I could see this going down a little bit, maybe see some tails coming down. But I do think that like if Apple and the indexes and stuff, the market's going to turn around, I could see this bouncing, but maybe it would just get to, I don't know, this range here from like 17 to $18. And then if it has strength, it could keep going. But if it doesn't, then maybe not. And then also, oh yeah, and also looking at the MACD, something I don't typically do, but it just seemed like it's pretty useful. This doesn't look like it's turning green down here. So you'd want to see that moving from red to green to really be seeing a reversal. And so like if Apple Let's actually think about that one, looking at the Apple chart too. Um, yeah, so I mean, this as well, it's pretty red there. So we want to see like, hopefully it's kind of flat over the course of the week and this starts to come back up, not only with Apple, but also with Fastly and any stocks that seem like they're somewhat correlated with the broader market. And yeah, I mean, this is like a week of sell off. If this has a week of flattening out and this starts to look like it's coming back up, then maybe it could, be bouncing and moving higher. Yeah, so I think it'll be pretty important to see what this does during this week. I don't think it would be basically. I would think that this is either going to come down a little bit, arriving at like 1575, or continue down. With this calming off and seeing like that comparison with Apple, and that there's uh, potentially news from Apple later in the week, I would think that this would flatten out. So, um, and with that news, things would rally. Like I don't think that like and this also like reminds me of Palantir, how there's this big gap to the downside. I don't think Palantir is going to be. I think Palantir will be filling it, but I think it's going to be a while before that happens. Um, I just think that stuff takes time. A lot of the videos that I've made pointing out gaps, and I got left behind on like Palantir, Rivian, stuff like that because I was waiting for the gaps to be filled, and it's just like you got to go with the momentum, and the momentum, was like Santa Claus rally for like a month and a half, 2 months, and now it's like things are fading a little bit, but I don't think they're going to fade so much that gaps get filled. I think that there will be another rally before that happens. But yeah, oh, and this is also interesting, mentioning maybe this is like a head and shoulders pattern, but this shoulder did have this other spike there. So I wonder if, you know, whether it's a head and shoulders or just something that looks like one. This, could be at a point where it does rally a little bit, but then could ultimately come back down to fill the gap. And so filling that gap with like remaining in this channel that I've drawn, that would be like by the end of February. So, that's more than a month of potential upside there. So, um, yeah, I could see that going up. And any requests? Oh, and I might actually, I'm just noticing that like Doge and Ethereum there. I might look at Bitcoin, see what that's doing. Why is that line so off? I think because I drew it on the daily. Yeah. And I was watching this one guy was doing this on the looking at this on the 4-hour time frame. So I might add that to this. Yeah, this does look like. Yeah, I think what this guy had drawn was basically a horizontal line from here, and then I kind of know exactly where this would connect, but then just coming up through those lows. And so that's an ascending triangle, which tends to break to the upside. Although it did have this false breakout, so I don't know how valid that is. It's a pretty notable false breakout. It's like I think multiple. Yeah, there was a whole day that was outside of that. So, but yeah, I mean, I do think that Bitcoin's going higher. I think it's going to. Let's see. I'm gonna adjust this so I'm not blocking the chart there. But yeah, I mean, I could see it going up to 48K. There's this guy who does crypto on Gareth Soloway's channel, so it's Verified Investing. And, I guess I don't know if you guys are in the crypto community, but everybody's saying they're expecting it to go to 50. I could see it going to like 49 and everybody waiting for 50. And yeah, well, and so that's also interesting too, because then it's like, everybody who wants to sell at 50 because they think there will be a pullback, and then everybody who thinks, oh, it's only going to 48. If it goes to 49, then any shorts that were established at like 48 maybe get pushed out, and then going up to not going up to 50, so people can't offload their shares, and then maybe it tanks to like 40. So that could be Max Payne. Hey, what's up, Horatio? Drop it and say hi. Yeah, yeah. Thank you for the suggestions and for the comments. It's like, because some of the videos don't get viewed that often, but it's nice when people let me know that they were helpful. Because like Hycroft is one that I'm really interested in. I think I would expect a lot of people to like that, but it's not too popular of one for whatever reason. But yeah, so yeah, thanks for the comments. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm like a quarter of the way to like being monetized and stuff, and it keeps picking up. It's pretty crazy. I've been making videos on YouTube for a while. I've never had this much like rapid growth. But yeah, and then somebody else, Sky Oscar, was just giving me suggestions about doing some shorts. So I don't know if shorts would be of interest for you, but yeah, basically it's just I need to figure out kind of like a systematic way to record those, whether that's, because if I record a video and then edit it to be a short, that takes time. Editing sucks. And it just takes too much time for me. And so, yeah, I've got to figure out a way to kind of systematically I could actually probably just maybe take screenshots on my phone and then film myself over like green screen. That could be a nice way to basically, whenever I make a video, just like, okay, not only do I have to make a thumbnail, I also need to make a short. So that could be a nice way to kind of promote the channel more. But yeah, I hope I become a big dog too, but I don't want to become too big because like I'm just doing this very casually. There's very little pressure or stress, just fun for me. Yeah, and it's also too, it's really funny. Like it makes me, or it used to really make me anxious thinking about people watching my videos, but I was fine watching numbers go up. So it's like, oh, people like the numbers going up, that's fine, but I can't think about that number of people watching me. But yeah, I've gotten more used to that. But yeah, it's fun stuff. So I hope to keep doing it for a while. I hope to be doing it full time at some point. Yeah, because my job sucks. But yeah, and if there's any ticker you'd like me to go over before you have to take off, happy to take a suggestion, any request. Yeah, I've got this DGen Ed list that I've been putting together. I just add stuff to it every week. 78 stocks on it now. CEI, is that Camber Energy? I feel like that reminds me of, there's another one that I think it might have actually just recently been delisted. I forget the stock. I've traded it before. I forget the name of it. But yeah, these are just, they seem so risky. Like somebody asked me a comment about a stock and I had looked at it and it just like looked like this, where it's, just fading into nothing. But then occasionally you get these big squeezes. But yeah, because it's like here, it's like, looks like it's all flat, but really you can lose all of your money in that amount of time. Well, look at this. This is pretty cool. It's like a Head and Shoulders right there. Pretty short time frame. This as well, kind of. Into Canoe. That's one that I probably have on one of my lists. Are they, is it EV? It's not EV Go, it's Go EV. I think they're Go EV. But yeah, with Camber Energy, before I switch over to Go EV, yeah, I wonder if, like, when did I make these marks? This would have to be, I probably did this in November. I don't know if I did this for the channel. Is this on? Huh. let's see. Um, but yeah, this is one maybe, I mean, let's see, what's the market cap of the company? 23 million. I'm curious, like, what's the smallest market cap videos that I've made? I feel like with stuff like this, it can be really risky because it's just, you know, buying over here, you can get your average down and then it goes up, but you want it to go higher and then you're left holding the bag and it's like never to recover. So yeah, for me, I feel like this is like I probably wouldn't want to make a video on it because I wouldn't want people to establish a position thinking that they could make, let's see, what kind of gains is this? From like that close to, yeah, they're thinking, oh, I can make 160%, over the course of a few weeks, but then it just bleed for months. But yeah, with it right now, let's see. I think, yeah, looking at the MACD, how does that tend to, interesting. Yeah, so one thing I've noticed with MACDs, I don't like look at it too often, but it does seem like sometimes there are like two waves. Like in this green period here, there's like a smaller wave and then a larger wave. And so within that smaller wave, you saw a decline in price, and then you're getting, I guess you want the like MACD, the yellow line to be above the signal. That is what is like transition to bullish. And so here, this looks like it could be the start of, like that first wave. And so if you start to see how much time was it? Yeah, that's just a bump in volume. What day was this? October 4th was, so that would be a Wednesday, I believe. Yeah, just curious if, this like ran up a bunch during like on a Monday or something. But yeah, I could see this as being like the first wave before a big run up like this. Because, yeah, I mean, but it also could be, this is the first wave. You don't really get a second one. And then it just dips. Here you get like two waves. Yeah, so, I mean, depends on your risk threshold, I guess. But I could see this. It is also, at this level that it was at before. So, and how often has that happened? That hasn't really happened in a while. So, and is this listed Amex? I don't know what exchange that is. Yeah, I was wondering if it was NASDAQ. But yeah, I mean, this could be a potential pretty big mover like it did over here, but it also could break. I mean, I guess what you could do is have a stop loss. You have a stop loss at like, I mean, I have this at 20 cents. I have this alert. So 20 cents could be it. And then you're risking 10% loss unless it, really tanks. But yeah, if one were to trade this, there's potential for a big run up, but there's also potential risk for a drop that would never recover from it. So I'd encourage a stop loss for this. I don't usually use stop losses, which is something I should do. But yeah, I mean, like the low is like 20 cents, 20.4 cents. And so that could be like a stop loss level. But that could also, I mean, I've had stop losses at the bottoms and then it goes up. So I'm not experienced with stop losses. But I would encourage having one for this if you do trade it. But yeah, I'm going to look up Canoe, Go EV. Yeah, let's see what list is that in. It's probably my watch list. Let's see. Yeah, this actually looks, kind of similar to Camber Energy with, it does have a break below this low, but, Yeah, it does seem to be consolidating. Let's see. And I should look at the moving averages on Camber Energy as well. I I think that moving averages are nice to look at, but I don't like the clutter. And so because of that, I tend to forget to look at them. But yeah, here you have 21 day, or yeah, no. You have the 50 day moving over the 21 currently. This does look like it's a bullish candle. Let's see at the weekly. On the weekly, I need to move the moving averages. Yeah, this does on the weekly time frame. This looks a little more compelling. Um, yeah, weekly closes, none have been below this close, which was 23.70. So I think it's good to have, a bottom line. So then, if next Friday it closes the week below 23.70, it can dip below, but then that's a new low for a weekly close. It's probably going to continue lower. And then let's see. And you could also, this is on the weekly. I was thinking that you do have higher lows forming in the RSI, and then you have lower lows in the price. And so that's bullish divergence on the weekly. Let's see what it looks like on the daily. It doesn't seem to be like too pronounced or anything from here to there. This is, yeah, even on this time frame, like looking at the low here to the low here, that's lower lows in the price. But then the RSI, this is below, right here, it's below 30. And then now it's above 30. And so that's higher. So this is bigger picture bullish divergence. And this isn't like with AMC, in those videos, I've gone over how it is showing bullish divergence, although the price continues to go down. So this is not like that, though, in that there is like more structure. There's more stuff going on with it. Right, like it's not just bleeding. And so, yeah, like I think this is pretty compelling. Looking at this on the daily time frame, this is not too steep, but there's definitely some bullish divergence there. And with this move, let's see, is there news going on with them? His coverage of Canoo with outperform recommendation. Okay, so this is basically like Tesla toppled his global EV leader. Rivian's fourth quarter deliveries are disappointment. Fisker goes the dealer way, and more big EV stories of the week. Will this pop up here? Yeah, we could read this. I wonder what it says. Does it say something about Canoo in here? I don't know that it says much about Canoo. It just lists them as being EV makers. Baidu. I saw some. I think this is Baidu. Yeah, that's Warren Buffett backed. I saw something. I don't know what it was on, but there was like I think it was like mainstream media covering like Tesla and Baidu and saying that Baidu is competition for Tesla and stuff. But yeah, there's nothing really. Canoo's not explicitly mentioned here. But yeah, this to me it looks like at 23 cents. So this is listed on the Nasdaq. Let's see, when was the last close above $1? Wow, a while ago. So let's find that. Where's $1? I'm just gonna put a horizontal line at $1. All right, so up here, and then we can take this measurement tool. The last close was on this. Oh, the last close was this day. So if we take that and measure it, because they're gonna have to do a reverse split pretty soon. I don't understand how this could be that long. Maybe they had some reverse splits here. Let's look at corporate actions. Yeah, because the last time they were above $1 was closed above $1 was 228 trading days. And so that's really like, so from this, it says 331 like calendar days. So really that's like basically they have a 30-day period before they have 180 days. So they're like overdue for a reverse split. So I would think that they're going to have a reverse split. I'm surprised that they're still trading under $1. And so yeah, I'd wait for news on a reverse split. I don't know. I don't really follow them, but I would think that there has to be an announcement about a reverse split because it shouldn't be below $1 for almost a year and be listed on the NASDAQ, as far as I understand. So is there an EV company that you believe in, your personal opinion, that will be second to Tesla? I lost a bunch on Mullen. Yeah, Mullen there's this guy that I follow on Twitter. Occasionally I don't know that I can share him. He is always, I don't know if he got into, let's see, volatility. There's this guy, I forget his name. His handle's different. I retweet some of his stuff. There we go. So yeah, stuff that I've reposted. Most of it's just my videos, but I think that's from TrendSpider. But yeah, there's this guy who's always, and he actually does cover Biora and stuff. Oh, this guy, yep, volatility. So this guy here, he posts a lot on Mullen and just trashing the CEO because there have been so many reverse splits, calling it out as a scam. That to me, like, was like basically Bior used to be Progenity, I think. And so they're just like all of these kind of like retail, heavily traded, smaller cap companies and stuff. And Mullen was one of them, and then also Progenity, which is now Biora. And so I got into that one, but I avoided Mullen. And it just seems like there's so many of them that, were good to avoid. But yeah, I'm sorry about that. I guess a similar story, or maybe one that's relatable. I really believed in Lordstown Motors. I was really excited about them. Eventually, I ended up cutting my losses and walked away. But yeah, now they're delisted. So that ended up being a good decision, but I lost a good amount of money with it. But hard lessons. Like I feel like, and so this book that I'm reading, The Psychology of Money, I'll probably do a book review on it, not this coming week, but the week after. I'm taking a few days off work. And so I'd like to start doing book reviews, like start a book club on the channel. But one of the chapters talked about, let's see, I forget the point that I was going to make with this, but about, I don't know if it was about, yeah, I think just like risk management and stuff like that. And yeah, anyways, there are a lot of great lessons in the book that I'm finding that, they're either reminding me of either mistakes that I've made, hard lessons that I've learned, things like that. And I just think it's a really useful book, and it's very easy to read. I would read it. I'd probably finish it in a weekend, but I just spend too much time doing videos and stuff. So, and so yeah, an EV company, in my personal opinion. So let's see. I am like I think that Rivian is really appealing. Not only, I mean, I've heard some critiques of their trucks and their SUVs are ugly. I think that they're attractive looking, so I'm surprised by that. But not only are they making like a really nice, normal looking pickup truck, so it's not like a Cybertruck, but also they have, I think, I forget what percentage of them is owned by Amazon, but they're making delivery vehicles for Amazon. I've seen them on the streets of Chicago. And yeah, so I think that they're tackling the EV business from two fronts. One is, vehicles for consumers, and another is for fleets. And so I'm very intrigued by them also because they are backed by Amazon. Um, and so I'm really intrigued by Rivian. I was really interested in Lucid a while ago. That's so far my most successful trade. Um, I At this point, I personally try to avoid Lucid. I mean, I could do a video on it if that's something that you're interested in, but I just feel like that's the one that I loved for so long and made some money on it. But then it's like, okay, but I want to walk away having made some money from that stock. Um, but also too, I mean, I've heard, I when they were building showrooms, I almost got to see one, but I was living in Seattle and I had wanted to go to the showroom that they were building, but I left before the showroom was open. But yeah, I've heard critiques of like their trunk being really small and it just being like proportionally really odd, like where like the cabin of the car is really nice, luxurious, and spacious, but it's just like the geometry of it's really odd. Um, and yeah, I guess like Canoo is another example of kind of like an odd looking EV company. Um, Maybe let's see, Rivian. Forget. Oh, Fisker. Basically, yeah. I mean, I'm intrigued by Fisker. I mean, there have been. I've heard some critiques of Fisker that this is not the guy's first company. He's failed other companies. All of this stuff. But really, I mean, part of failing is learning from your mistakes, and um, I I think that this could be the one for him, Fisker. Is it Heinrich Fisker? I forget his first name. Um, but yeah, I mean, and also just this is like the time when everybody's trashing the stock. But clearly, there's still interest in it. It's not just, I mean, maybe this is just a little blip and it's going to fade for a long time. I mean, I could, like I had mentioned earlier in the stream, I could very much see this going down to $1 just as like, if I was a short seller, that would be my target. I would want to see this go down to $1 at least. So yeah, I mean, for me, I have started to establish a very, very small position. And by very small position, when I say that, I mean like one share. Now I think I probably have 5 shares of Fisker. So it's like nothing. You laugh at that. But if this is in this downtrend, I can add to that position any red day, add a few more shares. And after a few months, I'll have at least 100 shares. And then I can sell covered calls on that. With a strike price that's not too far from my average, and then just hold those 100 shares and make premium every week. And so, like looking at the options chain here, so I'll do it for January. That's like the monthly. I don't need all of them. I'll just do like, yeah, it's like, there's probably not that many listed because it's so cheap. So yeah, it's above $1. And so, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, if my average is $2 a share on this or 250, this is, again, you could laugh at it because it's a very small amount of money. But if my average is, let's say, $1.95 on Fisker or lower, that's very easy to get. Like you could buy, it's like $130 to buy 100 shares right now. Every week, or let's see, I guess I should do this on the weekly example. So January 12th, you could sell a covered call based on those 100 shares and make, says 1 penny, but it's 100 shares, so you make $1. And so that's a joke. It's a very small amount of money. But if you do that every week and then it starts to pick up in volume, starts to move up, you can do this like every week. And here, and I think this is a nice example too, you could pick the $2 strike price, make $1, or you could do the $2.50 strike price, make $1 as well. Or, you could do it multiple weeks out. Like if you do it not this Friday, but next Friday, you could make $1 with a strike price of $4. and or $2, you could make $2 on that. So it's really like a very not exciting, kind of boring strategy. But this is a company where it's like you could very feasibly build up hundreds of shares, sell covered calls weekly, and yeah. So I'm excited about. I mean, I think that their vehicle looks very sleek. I would drive it. I would love to have it. But yeah, I mean, the chart looks really good. I'm going to go on with your other comments as well. And if you're doing reviews, what do you think of Dumb Money movie? So I really liked that movie. When I first saw the trailer for it, I was with my girlfriend at the time, and I never really talked about stocks or anything with her, and actually like took a break from trading, going out with her, and I, was like brushing it off. That's a part of my past, and she was intrigued to see it, and then since we saw that trailer, we ended up breaking up, but going to see Dumb Money together, and that inspired me to start this channel basically. Just seeing, Roaring Kitty videos and stuff. And it's like, oh, I could just chat for a little while and share my thoughts on stocks. And actually, my first videos were of, just spreadsheets behind me, going over very bad ideas. I found that I'm better at just doing charting and stuff. But actually, while I'm rambling about this and stuff, I should probably get going. I've got to be at work in like 45 minutes. It doesn't take me that long to get there, but I got to pack up my stuff and get ready to go. So I'm going to sign off on this, but I'll probably do a live stream as long as I can get back from work in time at Market Open on Tuesday. Do a morning stream, and then I'll probably do an evening stream again later in the week, maybe Wednesday or Thursday, and can do another morning stream. If people are coming to the streams, like this is got a lot of comments, live chat going on. So if people are taking advantage of the live stream and there's engagement, I'm happy to do these whenever I'm not at work, basically. So that would be normally evenings, but with the weird work schedule this week, I could do some mornings, some evenings. Next week, I'm taking 3 days off, so I'll do some streaming during the market. But yeah, I'm going to get signing off, and I probably won't have more videos out until tomorrow afternoon or evening. And yeah. What do I do from work? For work. So when I first got the job, I've been working there for like about a year and a half. There's like a social media policy or something. So I'm not supposed to like talk about work, but basically I work in a lab at a factory doing quality control, and it's insanely boring. Yeah, so I loathe my job, but it gives me security so I can work on things like trying to figure out how to grow a YouTube channel, investing, stuff like that. Fuel cell. Sure, I'll do fuel cell really quick, and then I'm going to get going. Fuel cell. And yeah, I think this is one that I had just made a video on 13 stocks that could be finding a bottom. And so this is one that, broke below that level that I had drawn. It does look like, though, there's these peaks here. So it could be finding support. If we look at the weekly, I mean, like right here, there's this line. That's at $1.40. That's the exact close. So yeah, I mean, that's at kind of, it's at the level. This, and I need to get better at drawing the levels at the prices that make most sense, because I had drawn this line based on peaks, I guess. Yeah, like these two peaks, really this one peak that happens to coincide with the wick on this candle. But really, I mean, if, I forget about this candle and just come down to here, you've got all of these tops of candles right there. Yeah, so this, like, what's the open on this day? $1.40. This one, I think, is the close is $1.39.5. So yeah, I mean, this line could really, be extended back to here. And so I think, it's at a pretty important level. We'll see what it opens at tomorrow and closes tomorrow. I suspect it'll be right around 140, and that this could be the bottom where it turns around. Otherwise, looking at like the volume profile, if it can't hold 140 where there are the tops here, I think that it'd come down to this volume shelf, which could be, like about 130, 128. But it could be coming down as low as, you wouldn't want to see it going lower than $1.16, because then that'd be, returning to these lows probably, just considering all the volume traded and stuff. So yeah, I'd hope for open tomorrow at 140, and hopefully there's some good stuff going on. And I guess, one thing that I don't pay attention to that much, the MACD, this does look like it's dipped red a little bit down. And so hopefully this kind of flattens out and then starts to move back into the greens. That would be, more bullish momentum. So yeah, it might be down a couple days, but this could be a short-lived little red blip there before coming back. So I like that whole list of 13 stocks. I think that they're all right around where the bottoms will be. So yeah, I'd wait to see. Just pay attention to 140 opens and closes. Thanks. Yeah, it's fun chatting with you guys, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, Horacio or Horacio. I hope that's correct. I'm probably mispronouncing it. I'm sorry. But yeah, I really appreciate the comments. And if there are any videos that you like, if you want me to do a video on Canoe, or just like I could do like a general like EV video, that could be cool. Or, and if you want me to do a follow-up on fuel cell, I can do that as well. I'll try to do a follow-up on fuel cell and a couple other stocks from that 13 stock list. I'll try to do that tomorrow. But yeah, my sleep schedule is screwed up, so I might release them at an odd time. But yeah, I'm going to get signing off, and thank you so much for watching and hanging out. What do I think about NIO? Man, I got to get going. I'll look at NIO real quick, and then I got to get going. Same thing. And NIO as a stock, as a company, I think that, like that video that I think the first video that I went over on it, I'm just going to hide this. It looks like either there's this wedge or just this channel that it's residing in. And so I think, I'm going to remove the corporate actions. I think that this is going to break out. I think that 2024 is going to be a really good year for Chinese stocks. And so I think that, maybe I look at this on the weekly. Yeah, it's just been beaten down so much. I think, in all honesty, I think I have a couple shares at around like $9. And I'm probably at open, I'm probably going to add a share at 806 or something. But yeah, I think that this could be very close to the bottom, and $8, it might come back down to $7. But so for me, I'm not loading the boat or anything. I'm just every week, going to add another share, and then by the time it starts going out, maybe this could be, it could reside in this. Actually, maybe 2024 is where the Chinese stocks find a bottom, but it could start to break out. But yeah, I think that there's a lot of upside for NIO as well as BABA. You want an update on the uranium stocks? Cool. And somebody else, I got to close down here in just a second, but somebody did make a request on me going over another uranium stock, which is UEC. But really, looking at this chart and these other ones, they're all similar. They're all they have the same structure. Peaks are in the same times. Maybe some of them go higher than others or whatever, but they all, these two peaks here, two peaks. Yeah, so I will do an update on them, and I'll include all three of these, which is Next Gen Energy was in the last video, URA, which is the uranium ETF, and then UEC, which is Uranium Energy, which is another company. But yeah, I've got to get going. Oh yeah, sorry. Hey Ricardo, I didn't see that was you. Sorry about that. I thought you were Horacio. I didn't see, because he was chatting with me. Yeah. So hopefully my thoughts on NIO that were really brief were good. But I can do. That's actually a good reminder. I'll do I should write this down. I need a notepad here by the desk. But fuel cell Neo, EVs, and uranium. So I'll try to do those. But yeah, I've got to get running to work. If I don't leave in like 15 minutes, I'll be late. So I've got to get packing up. But yeah, so much fun live streaming with you guys. And I will do a live stream, let's see, on Tuesday morning, market open. And so if you guys can join, great. If not, you can always access the video whenever. And I'll try to do at least one additional live stream during this week. And I'll probably try to get at least 2 videos out each day. But we'll see how I hold up, because I'm going to be up until market open. I'm not sleeping until the market's open. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon.